This is the Goode Show. My name's Surinder and I'm a military spouse. I've been a military spouse for over 26 years and my guy served 30 years as a Navy SEAL and retired as a Command Master Chief. Now, I've heard a few stories and I've told a few stories and now I am sharing stories. Sit back, relax, grab a beer, grab a coffee and enjoy. Check us out on social media at The Goode Show. Welcome to this week's episode. My name's Surinder, I'm your host, and this is The Goode Show. Now, everybody knows, if you follow me on social media, which you should be, I've been putting out a lot of stuff about my Austin trip. And lo and behold, look who I also got to interview. The woman herself, Ali Craig from Victor Valor. I gotta hug you, girl. Now, we've spent a week together almost.
Yes, I know, right?
Okay, I know.
And lots of fun.
Listen, it's been hard, I can't lie, for me in the clothing aspect, but everybody knows that.
You rocked it. You rocked
Listen,
the
we
clothing.
all rocked it.
Wait till they see the photography. Wait till they see the video work that's going to come out from this.
Well, listen, before we talk about that, I want everybody to know Victor and Valor, non-profit.
Yes, ma'am.
And you are focused on helping military spouses and members of the military.
Mm-hmm. We do active duty, we do veterans, we do military spouses, and kiddos up to the age of 25.
Oh, really?
Yep. All around branding and marketing to help them. We say live the American dream.
Yeah.
Which to us is entrepreneurship.
Yeah.
So, yep.
That is amazing. But you don't have a military background, do you?
I do not.
So what made you veer off into this arena?
Well, God's the easiest answer to say because that is truly it. Because I'm like, I don't need another business, God. I already have 5. I don't need one more, Lord. And I'm like, thank you. But 2 things really ended up happening. So I have been doing branding and marketing for 26 years. I know I don't look that old. But I have, and my specialty is in luxury branding and neuroscience. I tend to predominantly skew female entrepreneurs. But in that time frame, I have had a handful of veteran brands come to me, of course, when they're struggling. And fixing the brand was not the problem.
Okay, but hang on a minute. Before we go on, because you just said to me neuroscience.
Yes.
Okay, so what is the neuroscience?
So instead of using statistical information to try to like build your brand or your avatar that you're here, you'll hear them say like, oh, my avatar. Like, I can't stand avatars. What we do is we actually use neuroscience because the truth is that we are biologically hardwired and our brain perceives information, our subconscious mind perceives information. We perceive nonverbal communication more than we do the verbal messaging or the social stories around you. And so what we do is we're actually using how your brain is hardwired naturally and hasn't evolved in 20,000 years to your brand's advantage to build better relationships between you and your audience.
Now, this is why she does what she does, because I have no idea to do how I would even start with branding, never mind the neuroscience bit. So you're branding businesses.
Yes, ma'am.
Military. I'm so glad I'm so glad you're focusing on the military, and I'm so glad that you're helping me as well. Because
I'm happy to be helping you. I love it. I can't wait to show everyone everything.
I mean, even from basic website. Now, a lot of people, they know how to build a website or claim to know how to build a website, but you had my website up. It was changed. It was beautiful.
And I think that's my entrepreneurship in me because as an entrepreneur, everyone's like, when do you need it? You're like, yesterday is normally the answer. Yeah. And so the way I always build brands, even when I build brands for my for-profit clients, is I want to empower my clients. I don't ever want them to feel like they're reliant upon myself or my company to make a change or to fix something or to take advantage of something. And so we always choose platforms and try to train everybody so that they understand the science behind it and then also the logistics behind it. So if you wanted to like add a page to your site because you're like, oh, I got this great opportunity to go to an event and the event's in 2 days. Well, we may not be able to get to it, but I want you to be in a platform that you or someone in your family or an assistant could easily logistically build it. But for you to understand like, no, I don't think that's the way we phrase it because I've been told blah, blah, blah. And so that you are empowered to actually better verbalize and articulate your message out there.
I'm smiling because I do remember making a phone call to you and having a conversation about, hey, can you put this on my website? And you were like, yeah, I can do it, but really, you know how to do it. You don't need me to do it. And I was like, oh, I got to do this by myself, have I? And you're like, you can do it.
Well, and that's the thing. We're there, especially with Victor and Valor, we're there to help support you in doing that. But we also want to empower you. So like that's our big thing is that we want our brands to be profitable and productive for whatever that looks like. So not just financially, but logistically. So that way you're never dependent upon us. Like to us, success is when you're successful and you're out there with your own team doing the work and changing the lives that you're designed to change. And you're not like, Allie, can you do this? Can you do this? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So,
And I mean, in my defense, at my age, it's like, what I gotta do? What button have I gotta press? And then look.
and you don't want to mess it up, which I really appreciate, because when people get in there and do
Yes.
mess it up, that's not fun to fix.
Yeah, because the one button I did press messed up a little bit, and
Yes,
you had
we
to go
had
back
to
and fix it. So,
but you tried, so A for effort.
thank you very much. Okay, so your brands, how many military brands are you engaged with right now? Do you know?
So in 2024, so we officially founded in 2023, and then we got our nonprofit status then. And so in 2024, we worked with 107 brands.
107?
107 brands doing deliverables. So we have a couple of different like lanes that we can go in. And so our asset creation deliverables, which is where you're at, we worked with 107 brands last year. And to give you perspective on that, in my for-profit life, I work with 10 to 12.
Wow.
So,
Wow.
and there's no difference in the quality of service. Statistically, even our smallest brand, like a solo entrepreneur, is receiving anywhere between $25,000 and $32,000 worth of creation assets.
Yeah.
So like if they would go and hire someone, that's how much it would be. And then some of our larger brands that are doing much bigger, like multi-year projects, they've gotten well over $100,000 worth of resources just given to them, because we are 100% free. We don't charge for anything.
Yeah.
It is completely donor funded.
Military brands, do you have any civilian brands that you could, like small businesses? What I'm trying to ask you is, do you find that military entrepreneurs operate a little different to your maybe civilian side?
Not necessarily that they do, but there's definitely is something in the sexes, because my for-profit life is mainly female entrepreneurs, and here it's, we deal with everyone, and the ladies hustle better.
Oh, okay.
The ladies hustle better than the gents.
Yeah.
The gents, for the most part, like they kind of get like frustrated at some point, or something happens, and I just go, you either suck it up, buttercup, and let's do it, or like, cool, we'll pause until you're ready to move forward. And they pause for very long periods of time. Whereas the ladies are like, no, what's my next step? What's the next thing I want to do? I mean, just look at the photo shoot in Austin. Predominantly, we had female brands because it was offered to all 107 people. And the ladies are the ones who stepped up.
Yeah.
We had guys who had said yes, and they're like, yeah, maybe not. Like, to try. It's like, okay, like this is an opportunity to literally get so much great video and photography work done that would cost you so much to try to do, let alone the actual production organization of it. It's not just a good photo. Like, it's a photo that tells the right story for your brand. And I'm like, only two really smart gents came.
Yeah.
So,
and I think that's sometimes because when I look at the military spouses that attended, not everybody's husband has retired. So it's not a case of now my husband's retired, it's time for me.
Yep.
We military spouses inherently, I think we are just like, we got it. Let's go.
Let's figure it out.
Yeah. Whereas I think when you're in the military, and I know somebody's going to be like, surrender, but I think when you're in the military, what happens is you are given direction.
Yes.
And you follow it.
Yes.
I'm not saying they can't think for themselves, but it's kind of like, hey, this is,
But then that's the funny thing about entrepreneurship, is that it is all about creation. You create it. It's up to you. That's the beauty of it. But then that's also sometimes the curse of it, is that no one's telling you what to do. You're not buying a franchise where you get told, here's your rules and regulations, here's your packaging. You get to create whatever that looks like that's for you, that you think is best for your life or the clients that you serve. And so that's the beauty of entrepreneurship. But then if like you want to be told what to do, maybe you shouldn't be an entrepreneur.
Yeah.
So
going back to this franchise thing, you'd mentioned stipulations. Does Victor and Valor have any lefts, rights about it? Do you just apply? How do people, get to you?
So we actually offer a couple of different assets. So we have a community asset in an app that launched in January.
Okay.
And so that has over 75 hours worth of online training that's on demand. That if you just want to know, like, hey, I don't really know what I want to do, but I just want to know, like, what do I really need to be thinking about with a website? Or what do I really need to be thinking about when it comes to structuring my business, or the full process of what it's going to do from idea to execution? Like, I don't know what that looks like. What does that look like? We have 75 hours worth of online courses right there. We do over 20 hours a month of live trainings.
Wow.
All throughout the weeks at all different times about all different topics, about sales, about customer service, about, just the mindset of entrepreneurship, because it is a mental game just as much as a logistical game. And then we have our asset deliverable creations, where we can help you with everything from brand strategy all the way through execution, website design, copywriting, package design, marketing, all of that stuff. And then we have an entire professional training leg. So, and a lot of the spouses last year took advantage of that part, because if you have internet, you can do branding, marketing, or any of these kind of subfields anywhere you go and make really good money at it. So the way to start, get on the app, become a member, and then from there you can apply for asset creation deliverable.
Okay.
There's an interview process that we go through.
Okay.
Because again, it's a very intensive process.
Yeah.
We want to make sure that we are
I can
investing
confirm
in people.
it was an intensive process.
So, and then same thing with professional training. If you're interested in that, like, you just become a member on the app. And then from there, you can apply for the professional training. You tell us which one you're looking for. It's an interview process as well.
Now, when you talk about the professional training, I know that through Victor and Valor, I'm talking with lovely Holly about public speaking.
Yes, that's actually one of the new legs we're launching in 2025, is that we're going to have a professional speaking side, because so many people, especially in the entrepreneurial space, speaking is that next leg, either to promote their business or to get clients or just another income stream as well. And so Holly actually is one of my for-profit clients, that she has been a professional speaker for over 20 years and has worked with Fortune 100 companies. That has been always her industry. And so I was chatting with her, and she's like, what do you need? I'm like, well, I have an ask for you, because I don't mind asking all my contacts. Like, I'm like, that's the joy of it. And so she's like, I'll totally do it. And so we're starting with you and 2 other ladies. And then from there, our goal is to actually have a speaker agency side of it to promote you. Again, the money is going to be all yours, just like with our publishing side. We don't keep any of those assets. We just want to get your story out there in a way that gives you credibility, for within your industry, but also like within the media, and then just like the general knowledge of what you're doing.
Yeah. I will say, when you talk about knowledge, in a very short period of time, and this is the difference that I felt with Victor and Valor compared to finding help, guidance with other entities. You're very hands-on.
Yes.
And I can confirm that I've sent Ali a text, I don't know, 8 o'clock at night, and, next morning, this is what you got to do, or this is how, and I'm like, okay, you don't waste any time. But, and you're proactive. I love that. And this, I don't know, the retreat thing that we've done in Austin that you've put together for the photography, great bunch of women. I mean, that
great
was,
brands.
This was just one of the best work kind of trips I have been on, connecting with other military spouses, collaborating and growing. And then while you've been there, we've been able to talk amongst ourselves and go, okay, what did she say to you and how does that work for you? And then be able to come back to you and go, okay, explain it again, or let us know what. Accessibility to you, accessing you is very important, and you're available.
That's what we work on.
Yeah, that is a huge difference to me. Can you name some of the brands that have really started to launch up there, military-wise?
So we are working with Pillar Foundation.
Oh,
so
yes.
we work with Teresa Schick and Pillar
Yes.
Foundation. Peyton with Luna Leaf, of course. She is going to be doing big things in 2025.
Love Peyton.
Right?
Yeah.
It's amazing. Michelle with Operation Honor Rural Salute. We're doing her second event this year. So, and we're going to go from just one event that we did last year. We're going to do 2 events this year. And she's making a massive difference and is opening some really big doors in the rural veteran community. So.
Now, you said helping with events. So, how are you helping with the event?
Well, last year I showed up in the middle of nowhere, Pennsylvania, and drove for forever to get to the middle of nowhere, Pennsylvania. And this year we're going to be doing the same thing again. So, I will show up to your event to help support you. So, you in October, girlfriend, I will be there. Don't worry about it.
Well, yes. And Madeline. We need Madeline and Elaine.
We will bring the photographer through with you.
That would be.
So, because especially when you're doing these events for the first time, you don't know what you don't know. And if you don't have a professional events team that has been there and done that, you miss elements. And also you just need to have more people who know your vision, know your direction those days of, because there's so many questions. You'll get pulled in so many directions. And you as the brand at that point should be the face of going out there and talking to your people. It's just like having a great dinner party. When you are the hostess, you need to be out there mingling with everybody. And you need people behind the scenes cleaning up the dishes and making sure the food comes out hot and all of that. And so we show up to help you do that.
What what led you down this career path of branding and marketing?
I say God again because that's not at all what I thought I was going to do. My first job in college was actually doing personal branding. And then I was promoted to do nonverbal communication training. And at that time, our clients were a lot of women who wanted to become C-suites on Wall Street. So we're teaching them about how to like command the boardroom and how to kind of like break past social barriers about, you know, guys' roles versus girls' roles and all that kind of stuff. And then I was 18 and just thought I could do it better than my boss. Oh, wow. And so I started my company, and then they decided they didn't want to break through the glass ceiling. They just wanted to start on their own. So, you know, that was back in the day of white pages and yellow pages and AOL dial-up and all of that. And so they just found me, and you just say yes. Can you do a logo? Yes. Can you build a website? I mean, back then it was one page, custom coded Adobe. So it's like, yes. Can you do a brochure? Yes. Can you, you know, all that.
That's amazing, because again, one of the reasons I've got you is because I don't understand any of this, any of it at all. So the fact that you can explain, you know, you take the time to explain it and say, okay, this is why, you know, and I know sometimes, you know, that you have to give it to me straight, like you got to do something with this and you got to do that. But, you know, the thing is, it's direction, it's straight, it's short, it's to the point. And I think everybody that was at this retreat as well, it was kind of like, all right, this is what we've got to do. Back to your point of military spouses, they're like, all right, what have we got to do?
You guys are problem solvers, and I love it.
Yeah, I mean...
and you're also really great relationship builders, which is what branding really is. Like, that's what people don't understand about branding today. Number one, there's a confusion of what branding is versus marketing versus sales. But in general, branding is really about building relationships. And so you have to have that heart-centered to build long-term relationships. Unless you're doing like a quick flip where you're like, you don't care if you burn your contacts and you just want to get the one sale and be done, then okay, do what you want. Be as sleazy as you want to be. But for everybody else in the world, you know, where it's like, no, you have a heart for it. You want to keep the relationships, even if how you do the work evolves, you want to bring those relationships with you in your career, then you better be good at relationship building.
This is true.
So
let me ask you, you didn't know anything about the military?
No, ma'am.
What have you found out about the military that surprised you?
Okay, very few things surprise me. So I don't necessarily know of anything that has surprised me. I do think it's very interesting that there's, I always knew that there was certain psychology behind each of the branches of like, oh, I can change a lot of your childhood trauma real fast, which branch you went into. But what's very interesting on that one is the veterans, the careers they choose afterwards. I'm like, y'all all choose the bloody same thing. And it's like, but I can tell it's not anything that's truly, for most of them, very passionate, because I'm like, well, why did you want to do it? Or like, what makes you different? And there's no answer there. So it's like when I ask my for-profit clients, how much money do you want to make? And they give me the answer of $1 million. I know it's not their trigger. It's just a social story that they feel like that's what they should say and do. And the reason why that's a negative is because if we brand to that, you're never going to be happy. Doesn't matter if we get you every goal, every industry accolade, every financial accolade. If it's really not what your heart is meant for, doesn't matter how outwardly successful you are, you're going to be still internally happy or unhappy, and that's going to be an issue, because then you're never going to feel like you're a success. You're never going to feel like you're on the right path. And so I'm like, I have no interest in that. Like I'd rather pause and find out what you're really interested in and what really makes you excited, and build that, even if on the outward appearance it looks like a harder brand or an illogical brand to build.
Have you had veterans or military spouses on the phone and you've interviewed them and they're telling you about their, you know, this is what we want to build, and they've started, you know, you've thought it was good, they thought it was good, you've started it off, and then maybe they've kind of like, they're not being as proactive in the venture as they should be.
And that's honestly not a veteran thing. That's what I call flip-flop fear, because it is just human nature that you think you want something, but if you have a subconscious story that is deep in your brain, your subconscious mind, that says you can't do it, if that is girls aren't good with money, if that is, well, from where you come from, you're never going to be a success, like who are you, like whatever that is, it will trigger, because your subconscious mind won't let you do something that it then therefore deems that he would be unsafe to you. So you being successful would be unsafe to your subconscious mind. So it's never going to let you succeed. So flip-flop fear happens, and they flip back and they go, no, I don't want to do that. I want to do this instead. Like, that's not what I meant. And it's just like, no, it is what you meant, because we document everything. for these reasons.
I
But
can confirm.
it is a subconscious story that the only way you're going to get past it is you dealing with it. Like there's nothing I could do for you or my team could do for you to help that. And that's why I say branding is a deeply personal experience. And you have to do personal development work just as much as the logistics. Building the brand's easy. The logistics of business are easy. Numbers and pricing is easy. All of that's easy. It is your personal willingness to grow that's going to help you succeed and actually be a success.
You know, that makes so much sense. I mean, it makes sense when I hear it, you know, kind of, because I don't think we ever, branding to people is very different things.
Yes, they have, there's lots of misinformation out there about branding.
I mean, well, before I came to you, I thought branding was basically, I've got to have my sticker everywhere or my name's got to be everywhere. And there had to be some thought about where that was, but that was it.
Yep.
Well, what is that? That's not even branding. That's marketing.
It's not even branding. Yeah. So branding really is about the relationship connection. So the easiest way to understand the difference between branding and marketing is having that perfect dress when you went to prom. So when you have that outfit that it fits you so well, it reflects like who you are. You hold yourself differently. You act differently. So that is what your brand is like. It brings out all the best qualities in you of what you're doing, and it says a statement before you've ever said anything. Like before you even walked into the room and they just saw you from a distance, they knew something about you. That is what your brand should do for you. But just like with a prom outfit, if you stay at home and no one ever sees you, no one ever knows about you. So you have to get out of the house, which means you have to go out there, like in the prom example, go to prom to actually be seen, which is marketing.
Yes.
So you're talking about being seen, but you forgot the part of if this is what really verbally and visually tells the story of what you're truly about in the, in an all-encompassing way, not just logistically, because no one cares how you do it. Everyone cares about why you're doing it.
That is true too. Yeah. So is it that, okay, I've got to simplify it for me because you know how I operate. So that's my little stickers that I put everywhere.
Yes.
It's like, okay, Surinder, you put it, I didn't do this, but I'm using it as an example. Like, see those posters on the bus stop?
Yep.
So then people look at it and relate that to the bus stop.
Well, what they're trying to do in that regard is create visual awareness, because what branding back in when you think Mad Men era of branding, that was all about social recognition. So you would recognize the iconic logo.
Yes.
And today we don't do iconic style logos because that's just not where our society's at for the most part. So we normally do topography style logos where it's where the name and it's more like the font is telling a story about the energy of what this brand and the expectations you should have for this brand or this business, basically. And so in today's market where we have social media and we have all these visual elements, all these verbal elements around us, there's so many ways to tell that story, almost to the overload side of it.
That's what I was
which makes
saying.
you have to stand out more, and makes you have to be very clear about your messaging, because if you're unclear, then you sound like everyone else for the most part, because 99% of the people on the internet are unclear about what they're really doing.
At what point should somebody approach Victor and Valor? Do they have to be a certain stage in their business?
No,
or do they just have the idea?
We work with everyone and everything. We just had a call last week for a gentleman. He's going to retire out in 5 years. He's a chaplain in Boston right now, and he's going to retire out in 5 years. He has an idea. He has doctorates because he got all his education while he was in. And so he has this psychological analysis basically, and he's like, I think it could be something, and I wanted to know your opinion. I'm like, this is brilliant.
Wow.
And so he's like, I just want it to be a business in 5 years. So we have a 5-year goal and objective that we're going to build all the way out. Yeah, he's definitely analytical and a very forward thinker, so I love that. But very rare, because most people come with, I was trying this, it didn't work, I think I started, I was a hobby and I want to make it something. So they already have something in structure, and then it's, are you willing to let go of what you necessarily built to build what you really think you want? Because a lot of times people get attached to well, I built this logo myself and I love it. Well, I don't care you love it. If you are not your target audience, I care that the target audience loves it. And then secondly, you love it.
And again, I want to confirm that Ali did say to me, I don't care if you love it. I was like, I like my logo. I don't care. Does your audience love it? You
Yeah.
know? So yes, I totally, it makes,
And that's hard for people because people get emotionally
Yeah.
attached to what they've like created. And I'm like, but if you are not your target audience, then it's you're doing your business for you, which means you're never going to go anywhere. Because if you're not your buying audience, you're not going to buy from yourself. So
Yes.
it's like you're getting yourself off, but you're not getting your client off. So
yeah, yeah.
you know,
Yeah, you both have to get off. That is
exactly,
important.
exactly.
And you know, I was going to say I understand that as well, and I do, but not in that way. That's all just come out wrong now. How can people get in touch with you?
So you can go to victorvalor.org and all the information's there. If you want to become a community member, there's a button that says join the community in the upper right corner. Hit that button, fill out the application. It is a manually done process just because we are verifying people. We're not just like taking them at their word that they're a veteran, because stolen valor pisses me off. And so then from there, once you're in the community, you will have immediate access to all the trainings, all the events that we're doing, all of that kind of stuff. And then you can apply for the asset deliverable creation portion, the professional training model, all of that.
And I have to say, Ali's, we've been working together, what, 2 years?
A little over a year. Yeah.
Well, I think the first year I completely,
You did.
I didn't know what I was doing. I hardly phoned you, you know.
Did. You slightly ghosted.
I did. I was trying to overcome the logo thing, you know. I'm like, I like that logo, but no, yeah, that was silly of me. I shouldn't have done that. But
again, that's where I always go. I don't chase the brands, because there is this time and space that you need to develop how you see yourself as an entrepreneur before it's ready to go on. Because we can logistically build out all the assets relatively quickly, but if you're not emotionally ready to step into that next version of you, no good. There's no point. Like, you'll never win.
no, you'll never win. Now listen, spouses out there, veterans, active duty. I love that idea about the guy that's retiring 5 years' time. I think that is so awesome.
That's why we do active duty, because like even like the Barracks Barista brand, Darren and them, they're one still in, and Darren literally is just getting out today.
That's right.
And so like we've been working with them for over a year as well to help them like up level their brand. And we're 2025, the goal is to get into stores. So we have a model in place. We're upgrading their packaging to meet those standards and all of that.
You know, I would be interested to know just how many veterans operate in that manner, you know, because I know as they're leaving the service, they're already inundated with the information about transition. Yep. But how incredibly smart to think, all right, this is what I'm going to do, and I'm going to start it before I even get out. I think that is a kick-ass idea. Now, my second year with you, we've had more communication, and I've started to build things with it, and you've helped me with the website.
Now you think you also realize that I'll answer. Like,
yes.
There is no amount of you're bothering me too much.
Yes,
There's no amount of any of that. Like, if you're like, hey, we're really focusing on when we get close to the event, having a weekly meeting, so that way we know there's that consistent element. I will move heaven on earth to make that happen. So that way, because our thought is when you're successful, we're successful too.
Yeah.
So,
and I don't know why I felt like, oh God, I'm gonna have to call her and she's gonna be busy, and that's not my normal mode. But I didn't want to be bothersome, and that you're right. Now I text you whenever. I'm like, hey, you know. So again, accessibility is important. Military spouses, veterans, active duty. Your takeaway today is you have to put your plan down on paper, get in touch with Victor and Valor, Ali Craig, give it to her, and let her guide you through this process, which is a lot more than putting the sticker on the fridge or on the, that kind of stuff. Ali?
And you don't even have to have a plan. Even if you're just like, I don't even know if I want to be an entrepreneur. Let's have a conversation if you're the right personality type.
I love that.
Yeah.
Because I know there's a lot of you out there thinking, it's almost like mentor kind of thing. Thinking, hey, I want to start a business, don't know how to do it. Ali Craig.
Because I'll be honest. I'll be honest and
That's
tell you.
That's the thing, yeah.
Because we've had those conversations with some brands where it's like, you really shouldn't. Not trying to rain on your parade, but you really shouldn't. That doesn't mathematically add up personality-wise. I don't think you can overcome some of this, just how you're hardwired. And it's just knowing that.
And you know what's amazing about it is I never looked at a brand beyond a certain point. Again, to your point about the logos, my son helped me with that logo. Yeah. That's why I was attached to it. But again, it is a lot deeper. And as you've been working with me, my understanding of how it works has got a lot better as well. So I really appreciate that. Ali, it has been great having you on the show, right? I want you to give out your website, your information. You got to get in touch with Ali Craig.
It is victorvalor.org, or you can go to Instagram at the Victor Valor.
It has been a blast.
Yeah.
I love you to pieces.
Love
I
you
totally
too,
do.
girl. Thanks
Thanks for watching. My name's Surinder. This is The Goode Show. Me and Ali, we're out.
Thanks for tuning in to The Goode Show. I hope you have been inspired by today's conversation. If you loved what you heard, help us spread the word. Follow me on Instagram at The Goode Show. As military spouses, we all have stories to share, experiences, resources, and support. I want to hear your story and highlight your business. Let's connect, DM me, or visit surindergoode.com to share your journey. Until next time, take care, stay inspired, and keep doing good things.